Instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead of say something not illogical.
And now, Mike's thoughts. Changing a culture, changing a losing culture is by far the hardest things you can ever do. It is just not tough, it is a war. When a team has been stuck in the mud year after year, it's just not the scoreboard that tells the story. It's the body language, it's the doubt in the locker room, it's the quiet voice in the back of every player's head saying, shit, here we go again. Losing seeps into everything. It becomes an excuse, it becomes a habit, a poison. Guys start to think that close is just good enough. Mistakes can get brushed off. Quitting becomes an option. That's what losing culture does. It convinces you to settle. But here's the truth. Turning it around takes more than just a new coach, a flashy new free agent, a couple draft picks. It takes guts. It takes sacrifice. It takes a group of men deciding that enough is enough. You can't just flip a switch and erase years of failure. You have to grind it out each and every day. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to hold your brother accountable, and you have to fight for every single inch that you get. It is not easy. The fans will doubt you. The media will mock you. The moment you slip, people will say, see, same old team. That's the ghost of losing trying to pull you back down. And that's when champions are forged. When you push back against the ghost away, not anymore, not us. When a team finally decides to break the cycle, to smash the chains of losing, it's the hardest battle that you will ever fight. But once they win, once you win, once they prove themselves that they are different, there is no going back. That's when the culture shifts. That's when a losing teams become a winning program. So if you want to change a losing culture, don't just play for today. Don't just play for yourself. Play to bury the past. Play to build something greater, because winning isn't a gift. It is earned. And once you taste it, you will never accept anything less. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? And welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, guys, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you are here with us today. But before to dive into today's action, guys, let me tell you a little bit about manhourradio.com. That's where you can grab all your exclusive merchandise, check out the latest blogs, and stay up to date everything what we're doing and across the NFL landscape as well. So if you're repping the Man Hour, guys, that is the place to do it. But do not forget, guys, this is a live interactive show. So comment down below and talk your shit, because that's what we all about. Do not forget to hit the like button, hit the share button, of course, subscribe to the channel as well. That's the best way to stay connected with us to make sure you don't miss a live show. Now, before we get too carried away in the show, guys, let's get to the comments to see what the people are saying. We got Old Man River. He is in the house today. Old Man River is a pigskin pundit.
Skin pun, get you some.
Old Man River says, Old Man River in the house. I pushed the wrong button. My bad. Let's get some music going on. Old Man River, I'm glad you're here today, man. Hope you're having a good old day. On the afternoon drive, Old Man River was in there. We were talking about today's show. We were talking about today. My man Shay Frazier's in the house. Speaking of breaking a culture, me and my man Shay are trying to break that culture, and we back, baby. We back. Shay, long time no see. Too bad we're not talking about your shit-ass Green Bay Packers today, but you know what? We'll be talking about the Green Bay Packers very, very soon because they are on the bucket list to talk about. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Alpha Rob is in the house today. He says, what up? Alpha Rob, happy Tuesday, brother. Hope you're having a good old day. Hopefully you're not feeling like I feel, because I feel like complete dog poo-poo. The allergies are kicking my ass. It sucks, but welcome to the Ohio Valley in August. It is what it is. Old Man River says, pigskin punters, get you some.
Get you some.
Yes, get you some. And Alpha Rob says, so the Browns traded a quarterback with a winning record, but kept a guy with the high school talent on the roster. We are going to be talking about this Kenny Pickett to the Las Vegas Raiders trade. In the end of the show, a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. I can tell you it's a whole lot of dog poopy coming out of Las Vegas as of right now. But guys, the NFL season is roughly 8 days away. We are 8 days away till the Dallas Cowboys defeating the Philadelphia Eagles. We are 8 days away until we can sit back and relax and actually watch some damn good football and watch the Dallas Cowboys go win the Super Bowl over the Kansas City Chiefs this season. But we have to talk about some news that is happening across the NFL landscape, and that is my man, Scary Terry. Guys, Scary Terry just got paid. Commanders fans, this is the news cycle that you've been waiting for a very, very long time. And the Washington just made the move that secures their future of the franchise for a very, very long time. And that is Scary Terry is officially locked in for the next 3 seasons. That's right. Not 1, not 2, but 3 seasons. But at the same time, they did ship Brian Robertson away to the San Francisco 49ers. But what does this mean for the Commanders offense moving forward? But most importantly, how dangerous are the Washington Commanders, guys, now that Scary Terry is locked up long term? Guys, look, Scary Terry McLaurin is the definition of consistency. He's battled through quarterback chaos, coaching turnovers, and a consistent franchise reset. Hell, he's been through 3 name changes, the football team, the Redskins, and now the Commanders. Yet he delivers 1,000-yard seasons like clockwork. And by signing him to a 3-year deal, $96 million extension, the Washington Commanders assures Jayden Daniels has a true number 1 for the next 3 seasons. He's a leader in that locker room and a guy that defines the scheme against, right? And the players Jayden Daniels can actually rely on when the game is on the line. Matter of fact, the Commanders played 3 playoff games last year, and guess what? Scary Terry had 3 touchdowns in those playoff games. So the man is the man, the myth, the legend. Let's just call it what it is. But here's where things get exciting. If you are a Washington Commanders fan, this is very, very exciting because Jayden Daniels, guys, is still on his rookie quarterback, or rookie deal, I should say. He's not eating up the $45, $50 million cap space like some other quarterbacks, Dak Prescott. That gives the Commanders flexibility to invest elsewhere, a.k.a. their shitty-ass secondary. Whether that's the offensive line, bolstering the defense, or finding some weapons to surround their rookie quarterback with. That's how Super Bowl teams are made in today's NFL world, a.k.a. the San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy. By maximizing that rookie deal window, look at Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, look at Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, and now Washington has his own version with Jayden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. But guys, then out of nowhere, Brian Robertson gets shipped out of town. And let's be real, this one kind of shocked me and kind of hurt me a little bit as well. Robertson was a bruising downhill runner who brought balance to that offense. He gave Washington physicality and identity in the running game. Now, the production had to be replaced. Whether it's Antonio Gibson stepping up or a committee approach or a late veteran signing, the Commanders have decisions to make. The good news, the rookie quarterback contract gives them money to work with so that can afford to fly. But guys, the bigger picture, here is the thing. Yes, losing Robertson leaves a hole, but the core of the offense just solidified. With Jayden Daniels' legs, McLaurin's route running, and Dobson's growth, this offense is shifting to more dynamic, explosive attack. You won't replace Brian Robertson easily, let's just be honest, but you won't stumble upon a franchise quarterback / wide receiver pairing every day either. Guys, the Washington Commanders just secured their future for many, many years to come. Understand this, guys. The Washington Commanders simply just became the staple in the NFC. By signing Scary Terry, the Washington Commanders became the team to beat in the NFC. They're going to be good for a very, very long time. Guys, this team can win the Super Bowl this season. This team can go out there and beat down the Philadelphia Eagles, can go down and beat the Dallas Cowboys, can humiliate the Detroit Lions. They can beat the LA Rams. This Commanders team is this good because of the addition of Scary Terry, long term. Now, obviously, right? He is a little aged, air quote there. But you know what? Age like fine wine, baby. Age like fine wine. But I want to hear from you guys. Does this Terry McLaurin extension outweigh the Brian Robertson trade? Or does losing the physical running game cancel out some of the hype? Guys, comment down below. This is live interactive show. I want to hear from you and your thoughts. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/man-hour. Now, see what the people are saying. Shay says, I like a wide receiver in Green Bay that's not hurt. That's not going to happen. That is never going to happen. The Green Bay Packers have a laundry list of injury-prone receivers, and they just keep adding more and more to them. Let's just be honest. Alpha Rob says, it's a smart move, but still can't stand the stupid name. Signing Scary Terry might bring back the Redskins' names because, you know what? They're going to have flashbacks of the 90s when they were a dominant team. Let's just be honest. The Commanders are a really, really good team. And Shea spreads, now they have to go get Micah Parsons. With that, we're going to be talking about Micah Parsons. You guys can see the rundown here over on the left-hand side of the screen. Very bottom topic there is the Cowboys. That is Micah Parsons. We are going to talk about him being a cancer. We are going to talk about him being potential trade partners with somebody. Nowhere on God's green earth is Jerry Jones dumb enough to trade Micah Parsons to the Washington Commanders or an NFC team, period. Right? He's loose upstairs in the marbles, but come on, man. Like, would you seriously trade Micah Parsons, arguably a top 5 defensive end, edge rusher, whatever you want to call him, to a division rival that's already the staple of the NFC, that's going to win the NFC this season? The rich cannot get that much richer, but it would be a Jerry Jones thing to do. However, the Commanders did just add Von Miller, right? They added Von Miller, and I know, Alpha Rob, you're not high on Von Miller. I get it. Von Miller is the type of guy you would rather not see ever again. But Von Miller does add a special aspect to this Commanders team. The Commanders' weak point is the secondary. Hopefully, who's the guy they picked up from the Saints last season? McLemore. Hopefully McLemore can step up and not be injured. That would be fantastic. But if Micah Parsons go to the Dallas Cowboys, I will officially divorce the Dallas Cowboys. Let's just call a spade a spade. Old man River.
Pigskin pun. Get you
Said
some.
Terry will be fine. Like you said, he is consistent. Listen, Scary Terry gets his money. Scary Terry says, I'm going to go get 1,100 yards. That man's going to go and get out 1,100 yards, and he might keep a couple extra in the bag just for a rainy day. He has had 10 different quarterbacks throw him the ball. 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards. When we talk about top 10 receivers in the NFL, we talked about it last week. By the way, Jerry Jeudy is not a top 10 receiver. Guys, give me your top 10 receiver list down in the comments below. I'm just curious. But when I was rattling off receiver names last week, Scary Terry did not come up. Guys, I think Scary Terry is the most slept on wide receiver in the entire NFL. Like, legitimately, in the entire NFL, he's probably the most slept on. Maybe because he does play for the Commanders that have not been relevant for many years. Maybe it's because he just does his work and does his thing, and he kind of just goes unnoticed, right? When you go out there and you consistently do your job effectively, game after game after game, like, oh, you expect him to go do that, and you just kind of just forget about him, right? But I'm asking you guys a question: is Terry McLaurin a top 5 receiver in the NFL? He's clearly top 10. I have to rearrange my list and get him in there, whether it's knocking out AJ Brown or Tyreek Hill or somebody. Like, he's definitely a top 10 receiver. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know your top 10 receivers. I'd be curious to see if Scary Terry makes the list that we're talking about him. It rings your bell, or if old Jerry Jeudy knocks him out. Old man River says Raiders with Parson is fire. He actually said for Tyree. Raiders with Parson for Tyree. Talking about Parsons is not going to the Raiders. Get out of here. Shay said 2 seasons away from being in the loony bin. Jerry's world is coming to an end. Can we? You know how they gave Joe Biden like that competency test of like, hey, Joe, are you like able to run this country? Do you know where you're at? Do you know your name? Do you know your wife's name? Have you actually signed your name the last 2 seasons? Or 2 years, I should say. Like, I wonder if there's a competency test that NFL owners have to like do. Like, hey, are you on cocaine? Are you, no, it's that joke too soon for coach owner Jim Irsay. It's just, I don't know. But I'm just curious. If there is there a competency test? Old member says nope. No, as in Scary Terry's not a top 5 receiver? That's tough. Because if Scary Terry's not a top 5 receiver, who's your top 10? I think we have 3 right off the bat that you can name. Boom, 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 right? No particular order. JJ, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb. Knowing Old Man River, he probably has Jerry Jeudy up there in the top 5, and then Amon St. Brown, right? But I'm just curious, who are you guys' top 10s? But to end this segment, the question of the day is, guys, can the Washington Commanders win a Super Bowl in 2025? Or 2026, I should say. This season. In the 2025 NFL season, can they win a Super Bowl? I see my man Will Olson's in the chat. For some reason, you got hidden there, Will. So let me go ahead and unhide your comments. My bad. But Will says Terry is a top 20 in the NFL. Top 20 receiver. And he also says, right now, I have them as the 7th best team in the NFC right now. Oh. So, Will, for some reason, your comments were blocked on my thing when I went over to Facebook. So, I see you. Comment again, and it should pop up. But when Will says the Commanders are 7th best team in the NFL, was it NFL or sorry, in the NFC? The 7th best team in the NFC. Will, my man. This tells me a few things. One, you like the Eagles more than likely because the Eagles are a very, very good team. You probably like the Lions. They're a very, very good team. The Rams are probably going to win the West, right? And then the South would probably be the Buccaneers. So they're like, I'm assuming you meant 7th place in the playoffs. So there's your 4 first round top dogs. But then after that, who do you got? Do you got like the Cowboys up there? Do you got the a lot of people are liking the Falcons this season? Are you putting the Packers, the Vikings up there? Like, I'm curious to see what order that you have, Will. I mean, it doesn't have to be any particular order because, like, I'm not going to scrutinize your order like, oh, the Lions are in first place, whatever. No, just give me the 6 names that are better than the Commanders. Because now I'm very, very intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued to see where you actually have the Washington Commanders. So, guys, in the comments down below, if you were to rank the Commanders in the NFC, not the NFL, strictly the NFC this season, where would you have them? Because honestly, I have them winning the NFC East. I have them as the 2nd, if not best team in the NFC right now. But then Will says, shoot from the hip. Boom, boom, they 7, baby. So that's an extreme dynamic. That is very, very extreme. I'm just kind of curious to see where your mindset is at. So let me scroll back up. All right, guys. So we go from one team to another team that has a bunch of hardships the last couple seasons. This team, the one and only Cincinnati Bengals. And Bengals fans, let's talk about your man, the myth, the legend, Trey Hendrickson. Because right now, on paper, you guys got some great news. You got some great news. Trey Hendrickson is back on the roster. Trey Hendrickson just got a $14 million pay raise. Sounds solid, right? Sounds great, right? Everything is peachy in Cleveland or Cincinnati, right? Wrong. Guys, when you stack it up against what the best pass rushers in NFL are making right now, this is a complete hush money slap in the face. Say, Trey, shut your mouth and get to work, boy. Guys, let's break it down. Because Trey Hendrickson has been the guy, the man, the myth, and legend on this Cincinnati Bengals defense since 2021. 3 straight years of double-digit sacks. Matter of fact, he consistently disrupts 17.5 sacks year after year, it seems like, right? He has the energy that fuels the Bengals pass rush. Without him, those AFC championship runs don't happen. Them potentially making the playoffs last season doesn't matter. He's not a role player. He is elite. He's an elite edge rusher, and don't just set the tone. They got to pay to do that. Excuse me. So, guys, what did the Bengals have to do here, right? What did the Bengals do? They handed Trey a $14 million pay raise. Sounds big until you see it in context. Trey was only getting paid about $13 million this season. Now he's on track to make about $29 million this season. It's still nowhere close to where his market value for that position is. Nick Bosa is pulling around $34 million a year. Myles Garrett pulling around $40 million a season. Matt Crosby pulling another $35 million a season. And Trey, this so-called raise, $19, $20 million a season, that's almost half of what Nick Bosa is making. And remember, Trey has put up the production of those rivals, of those he has put those numbers to shame of Nick and Max and all those other guys. He's just not in the conversation. He is the conversation. He's a top-tier guy. So the message here that the Bengals are saying, we'll give you a little bump just to keep you happy. but you're not worth top tier money. That is a slap in the face to Trey Hendrickson. That is a fat slap in the face to the Cincinnati Bengals fan base. That is a slap in the face to the Cincinnati Bengals team in general. Guys, Trey Hendrickson has outperformed his deal, and instead of putting him in the line with the elite, they pacified him with the mid-tier raise. Other teams would have thrown the bag at him without a hesitation, right? And yes, I understand the Bengals are bouncing out Joe Burrow's $55 million contract. They're bouncing out Jamar Chase's mega contract extension in the Higgins situation. Like, I get it. The money is tight, but here's also the problem. When you shortchange the guys that have been one of the most consistent stars on your team, it sends a message to the whole locker room. This is what you're telling the players. Basically, in a roundabout say, we'll pay you, just not what you're worth. That's dangerous for team chemistry and future free agents. So, guys, this raise that Trey Hendrickson got is a slap in the face. Yes, I understand Trey is richer today than he was yesterday, but compared to his peers, he is widely underpaid. You don't keep a Super Bowl window open by disrespecting a guy that's anchoring your pass rush. The Bengals are trying to save a few bucks now, but it could cost them big in the future if Trey decides he's had enough. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. Did the Bengals actually help the Trey Hendrickson situation by this $14 million raise? Or did they just insult him by keeping him far below what his peers like Bosa, Garrett, and Crosby are getting paid? Guys, drop your comments down below. This is a live, interactive show. I want to hear from you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. So let's chop it up down in the comments down below. Old member says, put the bong down. I don't do no drugs, man. Drugs are bad for you. But we're talking about the Commanders there, I guess, right? Old Man River says the Bengals are 6-11, no defense, offense scores 40, they give up 45. Now, this is where I do agree with you, Old Man River. Now, obviously, Trey Hendrickson was on that historically bad defense last season. For the first 7, 8, 9 games of the year, they were horrendous. They were giving up 40, 46, 42, 37 points week after week after week. Now, the last 6, 7 weeks of the season, they buckled down and they were top 12, top 11 team defense in the NFL. With that being said, I understand where the Bengals are coming from. I understand they're like, hey, we need Trey Hendrickson on the field. If we can just give him $14 million to shut up and just play, here it is. On the other hand, the Bengals have so many holes to fill on that defense. Why does not trade Trey Hendrickson now? Get value out of him now. I don't wish injury on anybody, but what if Trey Hendrickson has a down year? What if Trey gets hurt? What if Trey says, you know what? I want to retire from the NFL. All of a sudden, those couple first-round picks that you could have gotten for Trey Hendrickson this season becomes a fourth-round pick, becomes a contentious pick, right? All that money and draft capital you could have got from this man, poof, out the window. Now, let's say he outperforms this year. Let's say he balls out this year. Let's say he plays 17.5, 18 sacks again this season. He's going to want more money. Yes, technically, he becomes a free agent next year, Alpha Rob. Technically, yes. But you know what the Bengals can do? This man's going to be 32 years old. They can franchise tag him. They can give him the, I believe it's the average of the top 5 salaries as a defensive end. Yes, it's going to be $32, $33-ish million, right? You franchise tag him. He can't get traded. I mean, he could get traded, but he has to play. If he doesn't play, he just retires. It's like, oh, I'll just retire for a year and then come back. No, the Bengals own the rights for you till you fulfill that franchise tag. They can franchise tag him twice. And then at that point, he's going to be 34, 35 years old. Who wants an aging defensive end besides the Buffalo Bills, right, Von Miller, Alpha Rob? But it is what it is. The Bengals only pay offensive guys big money, says Alpha Rob. That's what history shows, yes. That's what history shows. I think in the Cincinnati Bengals' minds, they say sex sells. And what is sexy? Joe Burrow putting up 45 points. Jamar Chase winning the triple crown. T. Higgins being like the best number 2 receiver in the NFL. That's sexy. That sells. But you know what sells even more than high, flashy scores? 45 points a game, triple crown winners. You know what sells even more, Alpha Rob? Winning football games. Winning football games is sexier than 45 points. Ask the Kansas City Chiefs that. Ask the Kansas City Chiefs fan base that. Yes, a lot of people are stuck in the 2018 mindset of Patrick Mahomes putting up 5,500 yards and scoring 40 points per game, yada, yada, yada. Once they dialed that back just a little bit, championships, and now we got Tay-Tay. You know why? We put money into the defense. Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator. Chris Jones got paid. Now, I wish we'd have paid some other players, but you know what? It is what it is, a.k.a. Jadarius Sneed. But hey, whatever. The Bengals need to change their mindset, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers need to change their mindset. Mediocre is just not always good anymore. It's time to win. It is time to win. Old Man River says Henderson 6 sacks all year and he'll be double teamed. I disagree with that. I disagree with that because of the draft that they had. The one thing the Bengals did well this offseason, Old Man River, Alpha Rob, Shea, the rest of the people that are watching today, is that they drafted defense. They went on the defense attack and they drafted Shedeur Stewart. Shedeur Stewart is the replacement for Trey Hendrickson. Let's just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. He was brought there to replace Trey Hendrickson. Not this year, maybe not the next year after that, but at some point he was there to replace him. If you double team Trey Hendrickson, Shedeur Stewart is going to go off. That is a man right there. That is a man's man. And once Shedeur Stewart starts to go off, we're going to have to shift the coverage at him. Then Trey is going to go off. It is what it is. And if they were going to double team Trey Hendrickson, they would have done it last year and he would have got 17.5 sacks. They would have done the year before that when he got 17.5 sacks. Let's just face it. He is the man. Trey Hendrickson cannot be stopped. Max Crosby can be stopped. Nick Bosa can be stopped. Micah Parsons can be stopped. TJ Watt can be stopped. Trey Hendrickson cannot. Cannot. He is a man's man. He's a bad, bad man. But I'm curious, guys. Where do you guys think the Bengals will end up in 2025? Are they a playoff team? Are they a divisional championship team? Do they still have a Super Bowl window open in Cincinnati? These are all questions that we're looking for answers for, and we're going to come clear here in about 8 days when the NFL season does start. But guys, it is time for a little bit of Overreaction Tuesday. All right, guys, so it is time for Overreaction Tuesday. And for those who have not seen this segment before, let me break it down for you. Here's the deal. I'm going to throw out a hot take, a bold statement, and an intense reaction to something going around in the NFL world. And it's up to us to decide if it's an overreaction or if it's actually spot on. If we think it's an overreaction, we're going to call it out. We're going to say, slow it down, baby. That's a little bit too much. We're going to need to dial it back a little bit, Buck. But there's a little bit more to the perspective. But if we think it's actually legit, we agree with it, we go to roll with it. You know what? That's not a overreaction, guys. It is reality, and that is the fact, Jack. So, guys, Overreaction Tuesday is proudly sponsored by W Sports Energy Drink. Guys, head over to w.gg, type in promo code MANHOUR, save yourself some bills. Yo. But, guys, the first Overreaction Tuesday here is Jalen Milroe. Guys, Jalen Milroe has kind of been stirring the pot a little bit there in old Seattle, right? Many people love the draft pick. Matter of fact, I was like, hey, you know what? This guy could legitimately battle Sam Darnold for the starting position. However, Last game, week 4, I guess, of the NFL preseason finale, Jalen Milroe just did not have a very, very good game. Guys, is it an overreaction to say that Jalen Milroe is a bust based off this last NFL preseason game? Now, Seahawks fans, it's panic time. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Seahawks fans, it's panic time. Or is it really? Jalen Milroe, guys, just dropped a subpar preseason finale, and the overreactions are flying in fast. People are already asking, did Seattle miss on the rookie quarterback? Let's slow it down, baby. And let's just talk about it, right? Look, Milroe has looking shaky in his final preseason game. He had bad throws. He had misreads. The timing just wasn't quite there. And the box score screams bust potential. And suddenly social media is ready to be burying this kid before week 1 even kicks off. Oh, by the way, he is a backup. Oh, by the way, it's preseason. Oh, by the way, he was working with backups and the playbook was very, very vanilla. And the defense was playing free with nothing to lose. So if we judge every quarterback off of their worst August outing, Hall of Famers wouldn't even make the roster. Let's just be honest about it. But guys, here is my thoughts. This overreaction is completely nonsense. One bad preseason finale doesn't define Jalen Milroe's career. Seattle drafted him to develop him, not to dominate in August. Pump the brakes down, slow it down. This story is far from written, guys. Jalen Milroe is going to have a great NFL career. Matter of fact, he is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback when it's all said and done. Yes, you heard it here first. Jalen Milroe is that good. But I want to know what you guys think. Should the Seahawks fans be worried about Jalen Milroe already, or is this just preseason noise? Guys, comment down below because it's a live, interactive show. I want to hear from you. Alpha Rob says, whoa, slow it down. He's not a bust yet. Alpha Rob, let me ask you this question. Let's say Jalen Milroe doesn't set foot onto an NFL season for the next 4 seasons. He does the Aaron Rodgers trip. He does the Jordan Love trip. He does the Patrick Mahomes trip, right? He doesn't set foot as a starting NFL quarterback for the next 2, 3, 4 years, right? Do we forget about this preseason game? Obviously, yes. But do we forget about him being labeled a bust in 2025? August 26th, right here on Man Hours. We're going to forget all about it. And honestly, if he never sets foot on an NFL field again, we're going to forget about him. And, oh, yeah, I guess he wasn't very good. Jalen Milroe really has no chance to be a bust at all. Because legitimately, the Seahawks drafted him as a project quarterback. They knew there's going to be learning curves one way or the other. There's going to be good, there's going to be bad. There's going to be bad, there's going to be good. That's just the way it is, right? And you know what? If he fails, it is what it is. Hey, we got at least we got Sam Darnold. But then he says, I give him 2 years to be a NFL quarterback. So he's going to go on last in the NFL for 2 years, says Alpha Rob. That is tough. But then got your man, Old Man River.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
He says he's built Bama tough, baby. He's taken Sam Darnold's job by week 4. So clearly, Old Member says he is not an NFL bust. Matter of fact, Old Member says quite the opposite. He says, you know what? They coming, baby. He's coming. He's going to the moon, baby. Seattle will not have a winner for 10 years. Okay. Guys, I just looked up the definition of waffle. And Old Man River is waffling. He's playing on both sides of the iron right now. This side gets a little hot. Let me jump on this side a little bit. He says, Jalen Milroe is built Bama tough. He's going to take Sam Darnold's job by week 4. But in the same breath, he says Seattle will not have a winner for the next 10 years. So this tells me 2 things. Sam Darnold is complete dog shit trash. But then Jalen Milroe isn't much better. If Jalen Milroe is below average, below mediocre for the next 10 years, why are the Seahawks hanging on to him for so long? Guys, if you want to see a waffle, this is a waffle. Old Man River, State your case here, man, because you are waffling at its finest, brother. I have never seen such a big waffle before in my whole entire life. Good Lord. Good Lord. Alpha Rob says his performance was top-notch for Sanders. If you compare him to Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe was Hall of Fame caliber, baby. That's tough. That is tough. Old member says Sam Darnold, the normal green bomb of the NFL. Flashback to the 40s. Who the hell is Norm Greenbaum? Did anybody born in the 1900s know who Norm Greenbaum is? I am no NFL historian by any stretch of the imagination, but damn. And old member says Jalen Milroe is just going to be just good enough to make it to the playoffs, just like Mike Tomlin. Good Lord. That's still waffling, brother. That's still waffling. Don't try to defend yourself now. That's just waffling. But here on the next overreaction, the second overreaction of this Overreaction Tuesday, guys, we got to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, the Cleveland native, or not Cleveland native, but the Cleveland Browns QB number 3, Shedeur Sanders. That's right, Cleveland fans, it has happened. It has happened. Shedeur Sanders has finally been exposed in the preseason finale. He had a dog pound and meltdown mode in playoff game number 3. Fans are already saying he's a bust. He can't play in this league, but is it really fair? Is it really fair? Let's slow it down, baby. Let's break it down, guys. So is it an overreaction to say Shedeur Sanders will be a bust in the NFL? But let's just be honest. Shedeur Sanders had a rough outing in his last game as a Cleveland Brown. Turnovers, missed opportunities, looked rattled under pressure, and now the overreactions start rolling in. Some are calling him he's going to get benched indefinitely, while others want the Browns to already have traded him away, a.k.a. trade him to the Dallas Cowboys or whatever, right? But let's take one step back. It's one game. Because game 1, he looked like a Hall of Fame. They were ready to retire his jersey. This is a rookie adjusting to the NFL speed. In a crowded quarterback room that includes veterans and young quarterbacks alike, right? Mistakes happen, especially in the preseason when the playbook is basic and the defenses are aggressive. So, guys, this overreaction is crazy. Slow it down. Shedeur Sanders had one bad game. It happens. He's a rookie. As a matter of fact, he's a Cleveland rookie, so it's going to happen for a very, very long time. Cleveland Browns drafted him knowing he's going to take time to develop. Matter of fact, they drafted him as a QB3. Writing him off after one ugly preseason game is lazy and just flat out wrong. Guys, stop overreacting to Shedeur Sanders. Stop overreacting to Shedeur Sanders. One more time for the people in the back. Stop overreacting to Shedeur Sanders. He will be just fine at the end of the day. He is going to be an NFL starter, and he's going to become a great Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. But I want to hear your thoughts. Now, the final reaction of the day. Mr. Jaxson Dart. Put some respect on the kid's name. But guys, is it an overreaction to say that Jaxson Dart is the savior for the New York Football Giants? Giants Nation, hashtag Together Blue. It is happening once again. Another solid preseason game, a solid preseason outing for Jaxson Dart. Guys, the hot takes are flying off the shelf. Jaxson Dart is the man. Jaxson Dart should be the starter. Jaxson Dart is this, and this. Brian Daboll's like, whoa. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. Russell Wilson is still my guy. Russell Wilson is QB1. He says, Russell Wilson is QB1. He says, let me clear my throat. Russell Wilson is QB1. But the hot takes are flying in. Russell Wilson's done. Jaxson Dart is the future. And the Giants need to hand him the keys today. But this is real. Or just another classic New York overreaction. Guys, let's dive into it. Facts are, the hype is real around Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart has looked great all preseason. He has made plays. He shows poise. He gave fans a glimpse of something exciting. Giants fans are desperate for a spark, so naturally people are already saying he should be quarterback 1. But the reality is, let's not get ahead of ourselves. preseason success doesn't always translate when the starters are flying around you in September, aka real bullets, right, Alpha Rob? Russell Wilson was brought in for a reason, and Jaxson Dart is still learning the system. 1 good preseason, 2 good preseason. Matter of fact, 3 good preseason performances isn't enough to crown him the savior of New York quite yet. So, guys, this is an overreaction. Yes, Jaxson Dart has potential. No doubt about it. But he is not ready to take over just quite yet. The Giants should be excited about this upside. But let's not pretend 1, 2, or 3 preseason games should make him the long-term solution today. So, Giants fans, slow it down. Trust the process. Trust your coach, Brian Daboll. Yes, he was the coach of the year his rookie year. He's been dog shit bad the last 2 years, but he did coach a fine quarterback by the name of Josh Allen. Let him bring him along, and then we can decide. But I want to hear from you guys. Should the New York Football Giants start Jaxson Dart over Russell Wilson right now, week 1? Or is this just New York getting way too excited over a few preseason games? Guys, comment down below. It's a live interactive show. I want to hear from you. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. Comment down below. Let's get into the discussion. Alpha Rob says, that's hot summer trash performance, Buck. I think we're talking about Shedeur Sanders, sir. Where's Hoffy when I need him? Alpha Rob said he left the pocket too early and looked slow, meaning Jaxson Dart. He's a white boy. He's supposed to be slow. Old Man River says this is Russell Wilson's team, plain and simple. Plain and simple is Russell Wilson's team. And you know what? Oh, Old Man River, we have to take Brian Daboll at his word, right? Because if you think about this, flashback to last season, Russell Wilson got hurt first or second preseason game for the Steelers last season, missed the first 5 or 6 weeks of the NFL season. Mike Tomlin kept saying, Russell Wilson's our guy. Russell Wilson's our guy. Russell Wilson is our guy. And sure as shit, when Russell Wilson was officially 100%, air quotes there, he was the guy. So obviously we have to take the coaches at their word, right? We have to say, yes, I hear what you're saying. I don't agree with it, but I hear what you're saying. I have to respect that philosophy. So, Old Man River, you are probably correct. It is Russell teams, plain and simple. But let me ask you this. What will it take to make it not Russell Wilson's team? What will it take to have Jaxson Dart playing by week 8, week 9, like Alpha Rob says? What will it take for Russell Wilson to lose that starting position? And I agree, and I am in agreement with Alpha Rob here. Play Jaxson Dart if the Giants are struggling around week 8 or week 9. The Giants have one of the toughest starting out schedules of the NFL. Their first 5 or 6 games are rough. They play the Commanders, they play the Cowboys, they play the Chiefs, then they play the Saints, and then I think they play the Eagles again, right? It's just they have a very, very tough 5-6 games to start out the season. In 4 bad games, I don't think that does it. Now, is that, let me clarify this. Is this Russell Wilson playing bad for 4 games? Or is it 4 bad team games? Because there are times when a team just plays bad, but a quarterback plays decent. Then there's times when a quarterback plays bad and the rest of the team plays decent and they win. So what is your bad game? Is it Russell Wilson playing bad or the team playing bad? I'm curious of what your thoughts are there. Russell Wilson is a pro sink or swim type of guy. Right? Super Bowl or first round overall pick, right? It's tough. It's tough but true. Tough but true. All right, guys, so it is time to wrap up the show, but not quite yet. We got our fighting segment of a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. Here's the deal, guys. I'm going to throw out some NFL statements, some facts that are floating around the NFL world, but it's up to decide if it's a solid fact or if it's just a whole lot of crap. We're going to separate the truth from the nonsense, cut through the hype, and see what's really worth believing. If it's legit, we all about it, baby. If it's pure garbage, we're calling it out. So guys, grab your popcorn because it's about to get real. It's a whole lot of fact or a whole lot of crap. All right, guys, so the first fact or crap of the day is that there's some news that just broke. Some breaking news, right? The Cleveland Browns have officially traded quarterback Kenny Pickett to the Las Vegas Raiders for exchange for a late-round draft pick. Now, Browns fans and national media are split on this one. Some say it's a savvy move, clearing up that quarterback logjam and freeing up some cap space. Others are calling it a bonehead decision that shows the Browns never believed in Kenny Pickett to begin with. So, guys, let me ask this question. Is it fact or is it crap? Was trading Kenny Pickett to the Raiders actually a smart move for the Cleveland Browns? So, guys, let's break it down for you. The Cleveland Browns quarterback room was crowded. Let's just be flat out honest. You still got Deshaun Watson in that quarterback room. The highly paid IR player who still somehow manages to fight on the roster, right? Whether you like it or not, he's still getting those Benjamin and still in the Browns walker. Then you got Joe Flacco, the last year or 2 years miracle guy, that the veteran who still plays steady ball and commands some respect. Then you got the not one, but two rookies, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, who both need reps, patience, and development. Then you had Kenny Pickett, which still needs development in youth and reps. And then you brought in Snoop Huntley as well. That still needs reps. It was just a bad, right? It was just a bad overall room. Someone was going to get squeezed out, and at the end, it was Snoop Huntley and Kenny Pickett. So let's be fair. The Browns front office is selling this as a smart business move. They said, look, we didn't see a long-term future with Kenny Pickett, so why keep him around as a backup when we can get an asset for him? They're clearing the logjam, letting Joe Flacco handle the short-term, a.k.a. be the starter, Watson and the rookies to handle the long-term, and shipping Kenny Pickett off to Vegas to where he'll have a shot at competing on paper to be QB1. It makes sense, right? Don't clog the room, flip him for a pick, and move on. But here's the problem. This is still crap. This is not a good move for the Cleveland Browns, and here's why. Number one, value. You are telling me that a 26-year-old quarterback with starting experience, first-round pedigree, and oh, by the way, a Super Bowl ring is worth a late-round draft pick? That's terrible return on investment. If you're going to move him, at least hold him for something, for some substance, right? A fifth-round pick. Let somebody else's quarterback go down and then move Kenny Pickett. Number two, the depth. The Browns are, all the teams should know this by now. Last year, they went through a tons of quarterback. Watson, Dorian Thompson-Robertson, and eventually landed with Joe Flacco just a couple years ago to save their season, right? Quarterback depth is not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's a necessity. And by trading Kenny Pickett away, they basically cut into their insurance policy. When Joe Flacco gets banged up, you're going to throw in a rookie Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel? Like, what are you going to do? Now, I understand the Raiders. Let's not ignore this, guys. The Las Vegas Raiders got a steal. For a late-round pick, they got a young quarterback at worst who is a serviceable backup. And at best, he could carve out a second chance at beginning a starter when Geno Smith does retire next season. Now, they still have Aiden O'Connell, but he's not a proven guy. And they're bringing in Kenny Pickett with low risk and high potential award. Low risk, high award. That's the type of investment that you want. This is exactly the kind of gamble to start that smart teams make. And it feels like the Browns got fleeced. That tasted out of my weird, coming out of my mouth. Raiders smart. But guys, this answer is simple. This is crap. Plain and simple. The Browns panicked. They had too many quarterbacks in the room, and instead of playing it out patiently, they dumped Kenny Pickett for pennies on the dollar. He may not be a franchise guys in the NFL today, but you need depth. You need multiple quarterbacks who can win games when your starter goes down. And Cleveland, of all teams, should have learned this by now. This trade doesn't feel like calculated smart move. It feels like desperation. It feels like the Browns wanted to avoid an awkward quarterback room, so they shoved Pickett out the door, or Pickett out of the door for whatever they could. And in my eyes, that's not a strategy. That is panic. But I want to know what you guys think. Did Cleveland Browns make the right call by trading Kenny Pickett to the Raiders, or did they just hand Las Vegas Raiders a gift while weakening their own quarterback depth? Comment down below, guys. It's a live interactive show. I want to hear from you. Alfred says this is crap because Joe Flacco is going to get hurt. Then who is up deck? The rookies. Exactly, because right now Dylan Gabriel was listed as quarterback 2. Shedeur Sanders, quarterback 3. Now, obviously, if you watch the Browns social media, you've seen Deshaun Watson looking like a healthy quarterback. Potentially could be coming back sometime this season. So Joe Flacco has to go down week 7. Watson could potentially be ready by week 7. Who really knows? But I don't know. Old Man River says, Kenny Pickett sucks. Old Man River, I would not be dogging your quarterback, my man. I would not be dogging your quarterback.
Skin pun. Get you some.
Kenny Pickett is going to lead the Las Vegas Raiders to the promised land. Watch it. Alfredo says, maybe Watson if he could get off the massage bed. In Vegas, Washington could get off the massage bed. Nobody wants to play for the Raiders. Let's just be honest. Nobody wants to play for the Raiders. Come on, man. But the next factor crap of the day, guys, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, the man, the myth, the legend. Mr. I want my money. Speaking of massage beds laying down, Micah Parsons. So, guys, factor crap, is Micah Parsons a cancer in the Cowboys locker room? Cowboys Nation. Cowboys Nation. It is time to face the hard truth. Micah Parsons may be one of the most talented players in the NFL. He might be an elite pass rusher. He might be an elite sack getter. But talent isn't everything. Reports, behavior, and his own attitude are painting the picture of loud and clear. So, guys, here's a question for you. Factor crap, guys. Is Micah Parsons a cancer in the Dallas Cowboys locker room? It's simple as this. Let me be crystal clear about this answer. It is a fact. And the Dallas Cowboys need to move on from him before it's too late. Let's get all this nonsense out of the way. Yes, Micah Parsons is a freak athlete. He's a pass rushing machine. He's versatile. He's the kind of guy that every offensive coordinator circles on film. But sometimes talent comes with baggage. And for Dallas, the baggage is starting to weigh out the production. Here's a list of problems with Micah Parsons. Sideline blow-ups, throwing shade at coaches through social media, consistently talking about his contract, the body language that flat out screams frustration when things don't go his way. That's not leadership, that's selfishness. And when you're supposed to be the leader on the defense, start acting like that, it spreads. Younger players see it. The locker room gets divided, and suddenly it's Micah, not the team. That's what makes him a cancer. Not because he can't play, but because he doesn't elevate the guys around him anymore. Guys, the Cowboys have a long history of hanging on to stars too long. Guys who put up numbers but ultimately drug the team down when it mattered most. Dallas needs to learn from their history. Parsons is already showing signs that he's about Micah first, Cowboys second. And for a team trying to break a nearly 30-year Super Bowl drought, you can't afford this type of distraction. Not with Dak's future uncertain, not with the new head coach Brian Schottenheimer trying to reset the culture, not with Jerry Jones going senile. Guys, this is not about talent, it's about culture. And right now, Micah Parsons is poisoning the culture. The Cowboys would be better off cashing in now. Trading him while his value is still sky high. Stacking up picks and bringing in players who buy into the team first mentality. Keeping him around just because he's a big name, that's how you get stuck in neutral. That's how you get in a 30-year Super Bowl drought. It's time for the Dallas Cowboys to rip the Band-Aid off and move on from Micah Parsons. So here's my answer again. Plain and simple. Clear as glass. Fact. Micah Parsons is a cancer in the Dallas Cowboys locker room. He's not the solution. He's the part of the problem. Dallas has to make the hard decision now. Move on from him now. Reset the culture now. And finally build a team that isn't about star power, but about winning when it matters most now. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Is Micah Parsons dragging down the team and he needs to go? Or should the Dallas Cowboys keep him no matter what, baggage and all? Comment down below, guys. Live interactive show. Want to hear your thoughts. Alpha Rob says it's a fact. Get him out of town. Guys, I have heard reports that the Green Bay Packers, Shay's Green Bay Packers, are offering him 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick. I have heard reports of potentially 3 first-round picks for Micah Parsons. I have heard a trade of a 1st-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, and 2 top-tier players. But the fact that they're like, oh, no, Micah Parsons, you're the man, the myth, the legend. Guys, understand this. Micah Parsons, he is an elite pass rusher. I will give you that. When it's 3rd in line, 3rd and long, give me Micah Parsons. When it's 2nd and short and you have to make a tackle, give me anybody else but Micah Parsons. Run at him, run him over. He doesn't want the contact. He just wants to rush the quarterback and get a sack. That's all he wants. DMVZO, what's up, man? He says they should trade him, to be honest. Get a whole bunch of picks for him and rebuild the defense. That is a fact. 2 first-round draft picks could legitimately change the whole trajectory of your team for the next 10, 15 years. Hell, getting a 1st-round pick and a 2nd-round pick and another defensive end could change your whole team this season. The Dallas Cowboys have a Super Bowl roster. They just have a cancer weighing them down, and he's right there. Micah freaking Parsons. And Old Man River says this is a fact that Dallas Cowboys suck. He says that's just a fact. Old Man River, it is a fact that the Dallas Cowboys have had a rough 30 years, yes. But here's also the thing. They have more wins than the Las Vegas Raiders in the last 30 years. Here's a Q-tip. Clean out your ears. Your hearing is off. No, it's not. The only thing that's off is my equilibrium from all this snot that's stuck in my nose. Being all crazy, right? But when we talk about moving Micah Parsons, guys, we have to talk about potential landing spots, some trade destinations for Micah Parsons. And honestly, when you think of this, 4 teams come to mind. 4 teams come to mind. So if we are saying that the Dallas Cowboys need to move on from Micah Parsons, the question becomes, where should he go? Because make no mistake, if the Cowboys put him on the block, half the league would pick up the phone right now. So let's talk about potential trade destinations. Number 1, the team that I like the best is the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears is sitting on cap space, draft capital, and they're building around Caleb Williams. Adding a defensive cornerstone like Micah Parsons to pair with Montez Sweat would instantly turn around that front 7 into one of the nastiest in the league. The Bears have the ammo and the money. It makes sense. And you have to keep pace with the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers in that division. Landing spot number 2 would be the New York Football Jets. Here is one to think about, though, is the Jets, right? They already got a tough defense, but Parsons would take that defense to the next level. Any player would love to play on the Jets defense right now. And a player like Sauce Gardner and the rest of that team, it would be basically a match made in heaven. Next up is the Houston Texans. They're young, they're fast, and they're building around C.J. Stroud. And they already got Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, but imagine up with Anderson and Parsons on the same side together, along with Danielle Hunter. That's the nightmare fuel for the AFC South quarterbacks. The Texans get a piece or 2 away from the Super Bowl ready. Parsons could push them over the edge. And, of course, the final pick, I think that would be a perfect spot for Micah Parsons, is the Detroit Lions. The Lions have the culture. Dan Campbell is building it brick by brick, and adding Parsons would be a fit for that gritty, nasty defense perfectly. Pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson, and suddenly Detroit has the most terrifying bash rushing duo in football. And let's be real, Detroit is all in of winning a Super Bowl now. They would give up 2 first-round picks for him, 2 first-round picks and a third round pick. They would give it up. But what do you guys think? Where should Micah Parsons land?